Hello and welcome to another Spanish lesson with me, Eva. Today I will show you how to use the grid when you are practicing your conjugations, when you are learning your verbs. Okay, so in the previous lesson I told you about the grid. I hope you walked away from that lesson understanding the value, the importance that this grid can have in your Spanish journey, okay? It can really boost your, especially verbs and pronouns, okay? Learning verbs and pronouns and learning how to use them when you speak quickly, no? This grid will be a great help to you. Okay, so because last week or last lesson was very theoretical, I wanted to make it more practical today. So I'm going to just pick a few verbs, really basic verbs that you've already or we've already come across in these lessons, and I'll show you how the grid works when you have to learn these verbs. Okay, good. Okay, so just before we start, I'll draw the grid. Okay, in the top left corner, just as a visual aid, and you know that the top left is the speaker. In Spanish it would be yo. In the middle we have the listener, so you, in Spanish, tú. And then the person that we are talking about is either él, he, ella, she. Okay, I will write usted here, but remember, if you haven't watched the previous lesson, please go back and watch it, because it really is very important that you understand the grid and why usted is here and not with tú, because usted is the person that's listening to me, the person I'm talking to, so they should be second person, singular, just like tú, but we need to distinguish between tú, when we are on first name basis with someone, and usted, when we refer to them as Mr. or Mrs. Okay, good. So usted, grammatically speaking, is here, but really usted is also the person that is listening to me. And then in the plural, we have we, nosotros o nosotras, you, vosotros o vosotras, and he, ellos o ellas, and ustedes. Okay, so if I'm talking to maybe a couple or even a group of people, and I'm not on first name basis with them, they're all Misters and Mrs., then I will address them as ustedes. Okay, good. This is the grid. This is something that you have to keep in your mind when you are learning, practicing your conjugations. Okay, so I won't be using these from now on, but I do want you, as we go through these conjugations, to go mentally, at least, through these pronouns. Okay, good. Let's start with the verb to be, ser. Okay. Okay, again, I'm going to give you the conjugation of the verb to be. So I am, you are, he or she is, we are, you are, and they are. Okay, I'm going to give you this conjugation here using the grid. Soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. Okay, it's okay. I didn't do the lines, but it's the grid. Okay, so soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. Okay, visually, mentally, you need to know that these 6 correspond with these 6. Okay, so as you practice this and repeat, and I urge you to repeat it over and over again. Okay, just go. Soy, eres, es. Somos, sois, son. Just as you say these words, have this in mind and know that when you say soy, you are saying yo soy, or in English, I am. Okay, but I don't want you to say yo. Okay, you can always add it when you need to, when you want to make a point, when you want to stress something, but I want you to get used to using the verbs on their own without these pronouns, because that's what the Spanish do. Okay, soy is very different from eres, and eres is different from es, and all the others. They're all different, and we know the Spanish know, and you need to learn to know that when someone says somos, they are saying we are. Okay, so again, keep this in your mind, have it somewhere, but only say out loud these 6 forms of the verb to be. Soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. Okay, you might want to even use your hands and say soy, and then point at someone. I don't know, put a toy, a soft toy somewhere, or a picture of someone, okay? And pretend you're talking to them, and you can say, okay, I actually have someone. Okay, soy, eres, and then, sorry, we will have this little teddy here to talk about, okay? So, you might want to say, soy, eres, es. Soy, eres, es. And you repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, okay? And then maybe you do the same for the plural. And then you have somos, and then you have 2 more in front of you, sois, and then 2 more on the side, son, okay? This will make it more real for you. Even though it's just soft toys or maybe pictures, it doesn't matter. You are doing it, I don't know, I'll say it again, in 3D, okay? You're doing it for real. You're not just repeating words that don't have a meaning. Now they have a meaning. Now when I say soy, I know I'm saying I am. And when I look at you and say eres, I know I'm saying you are. Or when I say es and point to that little teddy bear there, I know that I'm talking about, and I'm saying this teddy bear, it is whatever, tiny, no? Soft. Okay? So again, set a setup where you will have either soft toys or pictures or whatever around you, and make this more real, more realistic, okay? And then just go through these 6 without saying yo soy, tú eres, ella es, okay? You can maybe after a while, just so, you know, it comes naturally to you, and to check that you actually are matching them correctly. But when you practice new verbs, when you practice new conjugations, keep this in your head and say out loud only the verbs. Okay, so this was the verb ser. The next one is tener, to have. Tener, okay? I'm not giving you any rules yet, okay? That will come later. Right now, just get in the habit of practicing these conjugations the way I'm teaching you here, okay? And later I will give you rules for present tense and present and past and the future, okay? So, tener is to have. And we have tengo, tienes, tiene. Tenemos, tenéis, tienen. Again, only the verb, only the 6 forms. Tengo, tienes, tiene. Tenemos, tenéis, tienen. In English, you have to use the pronouns, otherwise it doesn't make sense. We don't know who we are talking about. I have, you have, she has. We have, you have, they have. In English, if you don't say I and you and she and we and you and they, we don't know who's having what, okay? So in English, you need to use the pronouns. In Spanish, you have the luxury of not having to use them, and in fact, you shouldn't use them, okay? Most of the time, you can get away without using you, and it's not getting away. It actually sounds more Spanish if you don't use these pronouns, okay? So, tener, to have, would be in the present. Tengo, tienes, tiene. Tenemos, tenéis, tienen. And you repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And as you're repeating it, you know that these 3 are here and these 3 are here. And you know it's I, you and he, or we, you and they, okay? Good. Another verb is hablar, to speak. Hablo, hablas. Habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. I speak, you speak, he speaks. We speak, you speak, they speak. Again, it's a lot of speak, speak, speak. So you need to say I speak and they speak and we speak and you speak. Otherwise, we don't know who's doing the speaking. In Spanish, because they're all different, we know that when we say hablo, yo, it's I speak. When we say habláis, it's you guys, you're doing all the talking now. Hablan, it's them, they are speaking, okay? So again, just repeat, repeat, repeat with this in mind, keeping this in mind, and just say hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. Always write them down or find a source, find a place, a textbook or somewhere. And if you can't, you write it down as a grid, not one below each other, okay? Good. Another one, vivir, to live. Vivo, vives. Vive, vivimos, vivís, viven. Okay? I live, you live, she lives. We live, you live, they live. In Spanish, vivo, vives, vive, vivimos, vivís, viven. All these conjugations here are just in the present tense, okay? Present simple, let's say. I live, you have, they speak, we are. So all of these are just present tense conjugations of very basic verbs, okay? And I'll give one more Trabajar, but I don't know if I have space enough. Trabajar is to work. Okay, let's see. Trabajo, trabajas, and trabaja. In the singular, and then in the plural, trabajamos, trabajáis, and trabajan. Again, all I want you to do is repeat out loud these 6 forms. But in your head, silently, you know that this is where you are with each of these, okay? Trabajo, trabajas, trabaja, trabajamos, trabajáis, trabajan, okay? If you don't have toys or pictures or you don't have time to set it up, just use your hands and just point at trabajo, trabajas, trabaja, trabajamos, trabajáis, trabajan, okay? Make it more real, okay? So it's not just words, it's words with meaning. Okay, I think I'll stop here because I don't want to overwhelm you, but this is how to use the grid when you are practicing, when you are learning your verbs, when you are learning new conjugations, when you are learning new tenses, okay? Just this verbs, nothing else. Forget about the pronouns. You know the pronouns, okay? And if you need to learn them, take your time and learn. Yo, tú, él, ella, and then usted. Nosotros, vosotros, ellos. And the feminine ones, nosotras, vosotras, and ellas, okay? So learn this first, if you have to, and then put it away. Store it in your, in your brain somewhere. Keep it there, don't forget about it. And always refer to it when you are learning, when you are practicing your verbs, okay? Good. Good luck and see you in the next lesson.